Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. We've heard you loud and clearly. You guys want to see more affordable PCs on the channel, so that's what we're going to do today. However, this one is with a bit of a twist. We're going to build a PC with parts that you can actually buy right now, because we know with stock shortages and scalping and everything that the internet's talking about now with PC parts, that it is actually quite hard to find affordable things at decent prices. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build a PC with parts you can actually buy. Now just be aware, some of these parts, you can get them, but they're not going to be cheap because of markups and that kind of stuff. But we're going to do our best to use what we've got on hand to put a PC together for you guys that you can actually afford to buy. So let's get into it. What we want to do with this is actually turn this into a monthly series where we go and investigate and find stuff for like an AMD based system or an Intel based system with an AMD GPU or an NVIDIA GPU, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the idea, but we're going to base it on the CPU type, both AMD and Intel. And today we're going to go AMD because we did a poll on YouTube communities the other day, and overwhelmingly AMD completely slaughtered Intel for what you guys want to see. So that's what we're going to do today. And again, just to reiterate, the parts are parts that we have on hand, and we went and did a lot of research to find out whether or not you could buy this stuff. So we're using only parts that we've got. The only reason why we didn't go out and buy stuff is because, you know, human malware and that kind of stuff. I'm just really paranoid about it. I don't really like leaving the house as it is. So usually what I would do with these videos is I would build it and then I'd talk about all the parts that we chose and whatnot. But I might actually quickly go through the parts as we start this video because, you know, something different. So what we decided to do is go with the Gigabyte 1660 Super. Now, this is a guide. This isn't like, this is the exact one to get, but these are the things you should be looking for if you're looking for a PC like this. The next decision we decided to go with was with the Asus B550 Tough Plus. This is the non-Wi-Fi edition and actually brings the price down considerably. You may or may not need Wi-Fi. You can add a Wi-Fi card in, or you can go for the Wi-Fi version of this board. But value for money, I think this board is pretty decently priced. The CPU I decided to go with is the AMD Ryzen 5 3600. The reason why I chose it is because you can quite easily get these, well, at least in Australia from me checking, and the price hasn't been jacked up. So I think this is a reasonably priced CPU, great bang for buck, one of my favorite Ryzen processors to date. I really dig this thing, so that's why I'm going with it. As for the cooler to cool the CPU, I'm just going to use the stock cooler, or at least a stock AMD cooler as reference. I don't know if I have the stock 3600 cooler, but I'm just going to use one that from another CPU from AMD that looks kind of like it. I don't know, I can't remember which one it comes with. I don't actually have a retail 3600 box, I just have the chip. So I don't know what cooler comes with it, but I'm going to use one of the AMD stock coolers. Anyway. Storage, I decided to go with a drive that is actually still pretty easy to get, 970 Evo, 250 gig. The reason why I went with such a small drive is because if you're building a PC like this, chances are you're only going to be playing 1 or 2 games and you can easily fit it on here. However, you can add a mechanical drive later if that's something that you wanted to do, which I would probably do with a PC like this. RAM is a bit of a contentious one, I know, but we went with 16 gigs of HyperX Fury RGB. The RGB is only a couple bucks more, but the RGB one's actually kind of easier to get in my experience. So when I was looking it up all this morning, this one was easier to get and the price isn't too bad. Let's get into building it. Let's do it a little bit differently. We'll chuck it all together, we'll have a chat, and then we'll talk about performance and the parts and all that, and then the total cost at the end. But be aware, the GPU at the moment is expensive. You can get your hands on it, but yeah, with all the mining stuff and everything that's going on now, GPUs are getting completely jacked up in price, but you can get these. That's why we didn't go with anything else for this, because this has been one of the easiest ones to get from our experience and with local Australian stock. So I don't know what it's like in your region. It could be different, but for us here in Australia, this one's not too hard to get your hands on. Got all of our parts laid out here on the table, and when I'm building, I usually do the CPU first. If you've seen any build video that we've ever done, you probably would notice that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to socket the CPU. It's fairly easy to do this. You'll notice there is a gold corner on the bottom of the chip, and you can line it up with the arrow in the top left-hand corner of the socket. It might be different for other CPUs and different orientations, but yeah, basically you just line it up with that in the corner and then push down the retention arm and you're good to go, right? CPU socketed. We get asked quite a lot how to do this, and it's just as easy as that. Nothing to worry about, nice and easy. Although this video is not a how-to guide, I want to show you guys a couple of little tricks that I've learned over the years with building PCs like this to make it look a little better and not actually cost you any extra money. Check this out, right? So these coolers obviously have pre-applied thermal paste, so we're not going to worry with that. So you can take it off whatever it's sitting on, put it on a flat surface, and if you want the AMD logo to face up in your system and not to the side like most systems that you see, you can actually quite easily take off the fan and rotate it. So I'm going to do that really quickly. It's just 4 screws. I do this all the time, and people always ask me, how is your stock cooler, why does it look like that? And once you've pulled all the screws out, it's as simple as rotating it. Make sure you do this with the cooler off the motherboard, because you could potentially put some flakes of metal from the heatsink onto your board and cause yourself to spend more money. So you don't want to do that. The only reason why I'd say to do this off the board is because of that right there. Before we get into building this PC, I just wanted to quickly chat about the case and why I decided to choose this case in particular. Well, the reason is this case comes with 5 included fans for $75 US, and 3 of them are RGB. Obviously, we're not going to be using one of them, which is the reverse pitch fan. We've got a full review of this case as well, so you can check that out in the top right-hand corner if you want right now. But the value is there because fans can get very, very expensive, especially RGB fans. And for $75 US, including all of this, and tempered glass and mesh front, pretty good value. So let's crack on with the build. Here's a quick tip. If you've got a case that has a power supply cut out where you can see the label and you don't want to see it, just peel the label off. All right? Peeling the label off is the quickest and easiest way without covering it up. Sometimes you'll get lucky like with this sticker and it will just be plastic. It's going to leave a little bit of residue over in the corners, maybe some other logos or whatnot. Hey, there's like a random logo under there. Rightio. Or if having it blank is boring to you, you can just do what I would do, and I'll put a GS sticker right over the top of that other bit. It's probably going to be really crooked. I don't care. There you go. GS sticker right over the top of that.
how many times does it take for my world to break? Tell me that's so long. Just how many times does it take for my world to break? Just how many times does it take for my world to break? Tell me that's so long. Just how many times does it take for my world to break? Tell me that's so long. Just how many times does it take for my world to break?
Remember, with the benchmarks, you can use that magical little pause button to watch these graphs for a little bit longer. And you guys always ask us to do Fortnite benchmarks, so we actually did them for you here. As you can see, the performance is really nice with this PC. We also did some CSGO benchmarking because you guys also asked for that. So here's some CSGO benchmarks from what we found with this system. And as usual, Shadow of the Tomb Raider with our regular benchmarking suite that we use for every GPU and PC setup that we do on the entire channel. We also always use Unigine Superposition because it's a great repeatable benchmark, and of course Basemark for that Vulkan performance. And that'll just about do it for benchmarking. Alright ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this build. Now, as I already mentioned at the start of the video, some of the prices of all these parts are going to change, so that's why there's no like budget thing in this video, because it's not really, it's just what you can build now for a decent price. And when I say decent, I mean the GPU prices are absolutely not decent right now. They're kind of ridiculous. So yeah, but if you're looking at trying to build something to this spec, that's kind of the whole point of this video. It's not saying, hey, build this exactly the same way as this. The whole point of the series is to dial it back a bit and to make it more accessible for people who don't have thousands upon thousands of dollars to drop on a PC. I know there are lots of people that do have that type of money, but again, availability, stock shortages, all of that, this is a much more attainable system. And as you saw in the benchmarks and the testing for this, the performance of this for the games that it's really designed for is really, really good. You're not going to have a bad experience with this. And I've always said that the 1660 Super is a very, very good GPU. It was good bang for buck. It's not anymore. But yeah, I feel like that's basically the whole meat and potatoes of this video. If you're looking for something of this caliber to play games, to get you started, for games like Fortnite even, it's really good for that. CSGO, it's really good for that, especially at 1080p. You're not sacrificing that much at all. And those games are really designed for that low to mid-spec hardware as well, to make the games more accessible to those who want to play on lower spec hardware. And again, I just really, really want to drill this in. This is not supposed to be a budget build. It's supposed to be something that you can build right now if you have the money to do so. And that's the whole idea. Because we do get lots of questions of people asking, hey, I have this much money, what can I build? And then I'm like, well, you know, the price has changed so much, it's really hard to pinpoint that. So this PC again is just to give you an idea of what you could do if you had some type of budget. And the word budget gets thrown around quite a lot, but the word budget doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. It has the connotation of being cheap, but what it actually means is you have a finite amount of money to spend on something, and that's basically it. And while we're on the topic of budget, now all the parts that I chose were basically because we had all of this stuff here on hand. You can substitute anything out, even little things like if you want to save a bit more cash, you can go 8 gigs of RAM, but with Ryzen, I would definitely recommend going dual channel, so 2 4 gig modules. It then still gives you room to upgrade later to 16 if you want to do it that way, but yeah, it's really up to you. Power supplies are getting quite expensive again as well. So this is a power supply that I found to be quite cheap. It's about $55 US, which isn't too bad for a 650 watt power supply. I've used it quite a few times in builds and I've had no issues with it. So that's why I would say if you can find one in that price range, it wouldn't do you any harm going for it. In terms of the storage with the 970 Evo, the 970 Evo Plus is out. To find the actual 970 Evo might be a bit tricky, but the Plus, which is a slight bit better, is about the same price anyway. So like I said, just substitute anything out that you might want to change. Even things like, you don't have to do an M.2 in a build like this. You could go a 2.5 inch SSD as well, which you could get for quite cheap. The reason why I didn't use a smaller, cheaper one is because I don't have any. Now, I'm not trying to flex or anything, but the smallest 2.5 inch SSD I've got is 2 terabytes, and I didn't really think that was fair for a system like this. Like I said a little bit earlier in the video, if you want to add some spinning rust to this configuration, like a 2 terabyte drive, it's going to set you back another, I don't know, like 50 or 60 bucks. You can also go on the second-hand market too, but just be aware, if you're looking at second-hand parts and you're a beginner builder, just be careful. You might get absolutely reamed, or someone could just fleece you for parts that like either work or don't work. So just be careful. If you're not sure, just drop a comment down below. I'm sure someone in our comment section can answer that for you if you're a beginner builder as well. And that's basically all I've got to say. What do you reckon, Claire? Yeah, not budget, but you know what you can buy right now. Anyways, guys, if you like the music you heard here, I make all the music. It's available over on Patreon, coming soon to Floatplane as well. Get early access to these ones on Floatplane. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak, we seek. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, before I forget, there's a PC part picker list down below in the description. Don't go off the prices on that PC part picker list, especially for GPUs. They've been completely blown up and completely out of proportion. They're the wrong prices. I can't believe 1660 Supers cost this much now. It's an absolute damn travesty, but just use this build as a guide, because you could still even pick up one of these GPUs secondhand if you're lucky for a decent price, if someone isn't trying to absolutely fleece you for it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.